Thanks for joining us at Petaluma Church of Christ. We're going to look at, for this midweek lesson, we're going to look at Luke chapter 12, verses 54 through 59. I'm going to go ahead and read that for us. Luke chapter 12, starting in verse 54. He said to the crowd, "When you see the cloud rising in the west, immediately you say, 'It's going to rain.' And it does. And when the south wind blows, you say, 'It's going to be hot.' And it is. Hypocrites! You know how to interpret the appearance of the earth and the sky. How is it that you don't know how to interpret this present time? Why don't you judge for yourselves what is right? As you are going with your adversary to the magistrate, try hard to reconcile to him on the way, and he may drag you off to the judge, and the judge turn you over to the officer, and the officer turn you over to prison. I tell you, you will not get out until you have paid the last penny." Now, one can interpret the rising cloud to mean rain, or the southern wind to mean heat. And Jesus says, "Why don't you understand what's happening now? Don't you see what I am doing?" That's what he's telling to the group of people he's talking to. Just before Jesus said, "Do you think that I've come to bring peace to the earth? No, I tell you, but rather division, father against son, mother against daughter, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, etc." Though through this is kind of shocking now. Family was everything, more powerful than even in our current Western context. Family was everything. Jesus invites radical change, creating a new community contrary to what society usually say, like, this is what it is, kind of changing the social norms or the cultural customs. Discipleship invites conflict and division. Now, there was a Mennonite teacher who said, "The peacemaking Jesus intends for the disciples invites conflict in every aspect of our lives." And so throughout the gospel, Jesus models this in the life of making enemies. The sword of Jesus' good news is one that pierces natural alliances. Instead of focusing on the family, Jesus draws together those who are separated by ethnic and social hierarchies. So God's kingdom reorders relationships and creates one community where all belong. So where does the sword of Jesus' good news pierce you today? Where are you resisting conflict, going with the flow, maintaining cultural alliances and norms? We're perhaps seeking more wealth or hoarding it for self-preservation, or perhaps striving after attention and praise, or perhaps staying silent about injustice, including poverty and racism and any other of these emergencies that we face in our day. Why not judge for yourselves what is right? Jesus says, don't be conformed and trapped. You can determine what is right without the cultural, without the family norms. You yourself can repent and turn around. By a cloud, you know it will rain. With the wind, you know that heat is coming. And Jesus says, don't you see what I am doing right now? Don't you see these fishermen and these tax collectors and these Samaritans, all people that wouldn't get along with one another, all these people that wouldn't be seen as righteous or approved by God? And against family and empire, what Jesus is doing is he's creating a radical new community. And so in this teaching of Jesus, Jesus is saying, turn around and come with me. If you have any comments or any questions, you can post those on our video. Like, subscribe, so you know when we're online, when we have new content to share. These messages of encouragement, get you thinking about some things, maybe even convict you of what you're doing. All right, so please like, subscribe, and we'll see you later.